the technical difficulties. I do realize that your time is important, and we hope to give you valuable information. Because right now, you guys are probably picking high cotton, rocking and rolling, and then the slow season will be upon us. And you know, even if you're in the Sun Belt, like Florida, some of this information is really going to help come the summertime. So I think it's beneficial for everybody. First of all, let's let your phone ring in the new year. Just like that.
Congratulations.
Okay. I keep muting myself. Uh-oh. All right, as we all know, winter can be a really slow time for carpet and upholstery cleaners. Seems like sometimes things come just to a screeching halt once the trees go up around December the 15th. But the real key to steady sales in the slow time is take action before it slows down. So we have a great opportunity right now. While you're making hay while the sun shines, the key is to make enough profit to cover the margin during the slow times. So here's some keys right now to kind of be I call it the grasshopper and the ant. So in the busy times right now, the key thing is to, everybody say it all together. Hello. Upsell. Upsell. And you know, I like to think of it as upserving instead of upselling. Because so often when there's holiday entertaining, parties, things like that, people tracking in mud and so forth, they need protectant. So it's such a great service to offer our customers. So make sure that your folks are tip-top in wonderful shape, ready to offer the services to the customer. Also, maintain a waiting list because you want to maximize your opportunities during this time of year. So maintain a waiting list. So if you've got customers that are requesting a sooner day, then you will be able to fill in that schedule so that you don't have these big gaps and say, oh my gosh, so-and-so canceled. What am I going to do? So this is going to help you. Also, efficient scheduling. You know, make sure that you understand how long a job's going to take. That's where asking enough questions and things like that are really going to help you maximize that. Also about your equipment, make sure you have good working backup equipment. Just like I wish I'd had a backup laptop I could have instantly used right now. Having a power head that works just in case one breaks, invaluable. So the more profit you make right now, it's going to help ease the pain come winter. Look at some of the strategies. We're going to cover a lot of different things. We're going to cover some things you can do right now, things that you can be doing when it's slow, as far as planning goes, and some really interesting, what I call guerrilla marketing techniques that you can put into place and see them come to fruition really quick. So now's the time to plan your marketing, and don't slow down just because the slow months are coming. Think about it. Your competitors are probably going to stop advertising. If you continue, there you are. You're in a perfect position. Also, this is a great time to build relationships. Back in the olden days, Robert Harris's father, DeVere Harris, said something I'll never forget. He said, the key to this business is personal relationships. Tying your customers to you with a rope instead of a thread. So at this time, take advantage. There's going to be some times when you've got some downtime. So some of these suggestions, most of them are going to be great. You can keep those hands busy. All right, first of all, let's take a look at developing. You know, this is going to be important. I want you to keep this in your back pocket because come next year, won't it be wonderful to be able to look at and see where your expenditures are, where the holes are, and what you can be planning to keep that phone ringing all year long. And we've come up with some great diagnostic tools, thank you, Ed Quinlan, that's going to help you at the first of the year to do just this. But I can't stress the importance of doing this. So keep that in your back pocket. Now, this is another good time to really analyze advertising sources. You know, which ones produce the best results using facts. You know, not just, oh, gee, we got a lot of calls from that Valpak, but to actually look at it, get a report. This is an example of a report from Camelot. Are you guys hearing any feedback? Okay. This is a source performance, and it shows you postcards, referrals, Home Depot. It shows you all different categories, and it shows you what piece of the pie. The cool thing, take a look-see at it. It has the average sale. Take a look. Valpak, in this particular instance, created a high average sale. Boy, that must have been a good Valpak. But you see what I'm saying? This way, this will help you make those decisions. All right, we're going to talk about some hardcore marketing on a dime. And this is Kelly O'Reilly's Marketing on a Dime list. And what I'd like to do is for everybody to pipe in, because I've asked several people that are on this webinar to let me know, hey, what do I do during slow times? So they sent me some good information, and I hope they'll pipe in. We had Tracy Woolery, we had Shelley with All-Star ChemDry, and a number of other people that responded. Also Tiffany with ChemDry of Alabama. So I have to say roll tide to Alabama. They're going to win. Okay. Here's some things that are probably pretty rudimentary, but I think that it bears looking at because these kind of things are going to be very inexpensive. All right, let's go through them. Residential carpet maintenance plan. This will enable you to keep your schedule busy on a regular basis. You will have it planned, plus the customers will be able to know what to expect. And you can offer them scheduling discounts. Another opportunity would be to offer touch-up after the holidays. You know, even if they clean right now, if you have a great program in place where you can offer them an opportunity to touch up after the holidays. So you could offer them some sort of discount to remove spots or what have you, to clean the traffic areas. In the past, this has been a really successful tool, and there's some good templates for that. Another thing that a couple years ago, we had a cross-selling class in one of our conventions. I think it was in Lake Las Vegas. And Sean Riddle talked about he has an annual upholstery cleaning discount. And it starts in January, and he begins promoting it. For example, the CSRs will ask now, will you need any upholstery clean while we're there? And if they say, no, I think I'm going to wait on that, we'll give you a free estimate. You can also let them know, hey, now's a great opportunity to learn about our great January and February discount for upholstery. So if you can't get them to buy now, offer them that discount and make a follow-up. Also, you guys probably thought about creating a frequent flyer program, like a punch card. And I think people have presented that idea before. Works great. All right, here's a radical one. Offer a 6-month guarantee for protectant. How about that? You know, anything you can do to take the risk out of the hands of the customer, bless their hearts. You know, right now they want to spend their money wisely. Now you think about it. If you say, okay, you give them a 6-month guarantee for protectant, and you provide them with a spot cleaner, tell them how to use it. If they have a problem spot they can't get out, they can call you within 6 months and you'll come and remove it. Virtually every franchise I've ever talked to that's implemented something like this has very, very rarely had to go out. It's basically a great tool to sell protectant. Also, the next thing is power of testimonials. If you do surveys with your customers, also ask on that little survey, is it okay if I use your name as a reference with other customers? And if they give you permission to do that, then you can use that in your advertising, on your website, on your new customer acquisition cards. Plus, if you've got a customer that's kind of wavering and not sure whether they want to book or not, you can use it. I do have some references of delighted customers who would be more than happy to share their experience with you. Great closing tool. Teresa Fenimore, down in Chemdry, Touchdown Chemdry, she has a birthday program. Recognizes clients' birthdays. Sure, she doesn't ask the year, but she'll ask the month. And she has a great infrastructure set up where they automatically pop up, and they automatically send a card, and they offer them a free can of spot remover, happy birthday. How many other carpet cleaners do that? Another thing is Tom Weichel with Oceanfront Chemdry presented an idea about how he's working with Humane Society to sponsor some events. And when he does so, he gets so many benefits, links from their website, mentioned in their newsletter. Virtually every communication that goes out is going to include his information. So explore those opportunities. I bet you a lot of people are doing this one, sending out cards and gifts to your best customers. I know a lot of people send out Thanksgiving cards because that's a wonderful, neutral kind of thing. Now, it's a little late now, so if you've done it, fantastic. If not, I recommend that you do it for your best residential customers and commercials. One of the things that I did very successfully as a franchise owner was that I identified my best commercial customers, and I prepared baskets. I mean, I actually did it. I prepared baskets. I put spot remover in there, Godiva chocolates, put a bow on it, and I set aside a whole day, and I walked out and any FaceTime I could get with those customers, kept them out of the jaws of the competition. Another one, send a gift card after a huge job, because you may be doing commercial jobs. People have money to spend at the end of the year in their budget. Sometimes they don't, but if they do, thank them. Do something unusual. Send them a gift card. Send them flowers. Don't send the guy flowers, but you get my point. Internet marketing, internet marketing, internet marketing. Ed Quinlan's the king of it. Join his webinars. So important. And I hope a lot of you guys have started collecting email addresses. That's going to be the wave of the future, I see. Constant Contact is a company that has templates in place. All you do is upload your email addresses, and they can communicate with your customers. The reason it's important to use a company like this is that the emails don't get stuck in spam. So a lot of these information about these programs you'll find in the marketing toolbox that Ed was just talking about. Okay, here's an idea. All-Star Chemdry in Georgia. This woman can write anything. Well, here's an idea, and most of it's free. You could write a column in trade journals, industry magazines. But the coolest part is look at these 4 websites here, especially the first one, freepublicity.com. You could submit a free article. All of these things will give you the ability to have Google grab a hold of it and also put it on their search engine. Google something, and it sent me to a page like this. Absolutely free in most cases. Ed has got some great things called press releases that he has in the marketing toolbox, but you can take those and make an article out of it so fast and make your head swim. I don't know if you guys know what blogs are. You probably do. I read blogs all the time. But I won't belabor it, but here's exactly how to create a blog. For the longest time, I knew how to go to a blog, but I didn't really know how to do it. So here it is. There's the little step-by-step site where you can go in and create your own blog. All right. This is your key. Today, tomorrow, forever, as long as you're in Chemdry. Focus heavily on that database. This is not only your gold mine, but this is where your blood, your sweat, your tears is all in that database. I hope everybody sent their seasonal reminders. And you know something, we're going to talk about the 4 and 6 rule here, but people ask me a lot of times, well, why do you send seasonal postcards 4 times and then 6 and 12 months reminders? You have to have 4 contacts with a customer, and it takes 6 impressions for most of them to take action. So here's some suggestions really to add more value to your personal relationships. And these are very rudimentary, but sometimes we forget these things. When I had my franchise, sometimes I was moving so fast and furious that I left out one of these steps. So look at it like a puzzle where all these pieces fit into what I call superb, spectacular customer experience. Because we're going to talk a little bit about referrals and referral alliances. And of course we all know about them, that you really need to do the best job. Best job isn't good enough. Good job isn't good enough. Great job isn't good enough. Spectacular are the things that a great business and a referral machine creator is all about. Also, we used to send out a quality control card, and it was a quad fold that had a survey. It had a list of everything that we did and offered them a discount to come back. It had a referral card and a self-addressed thing where they could send back their survey. It served the purpose. In addition to that, we still called. We called and said, oh, we're going to be sending you something in the mail. Let me tell you what it is. Next thing is email newsletters. You know, Shelley Brown, girl, you have got an awesome email newsletter. I want to know how to unmute them. How do I unmute them, Ed? I want Shelley to talk about that.
Let me unmute myself. Okay. Let's see. I'm unmuted. Robin.
You're unmuted. What about Shelley? Can Shelley talk?
Yeah, so over on the attendee list, Robin, you can slide down to Shelley's name and unmute her, and then we can hear Shelley.
Okie dokie. When I click on that, I'm not getting anything.
Shelley, can we hear you? I guess that might be a no. I show that we should be able to. She might have. Oh, she gave us a question. Let's see.
Woohoo!
Okay. Oh no, we cannot hear Shelley, but according to the system, we should be able to. Shelley, I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
Well, Shelley, I'm going to toot your horn for just a moment. On a regular basis, I receive an email newsletter from Shelley, and it offers helpful hints on how to maintain my carpets or just about anything that would be of interest to me, as well as information about upcoming specials. I mean, it's very well done. She's been doing this way before it was cool, and I just really been impressed with it. And Shelley, if Stu didn't own a carpet cleaning business, I would call and book you. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, there we can hear Shelley.
Yeah, I'm back now. I figured out I had to click the little, I had to click something up at the top to unmute, so thank you. I use the Email Brain for my email, and it's very inexpensive. It's only $9.99 a month for 2,000 emails.
Oh, that's very
What company is
inexpensive.
that, Shelley?
That's called emailbrain.com.
Outstanding. Another thing that you might want to explore would check out sendoutcards.com. And I'm a real big proponent of sending out cards. We're going to talk about, throughout this whole presentation, opportunities where you could send out muted customers, not just birthday cards, but other things, and we're going to hit those. This is a company where you can have customized cards made with your picture on it, with a picture of a dirty rug, with, some people will actually send out a picture of them sitting on the beach with their kids, and, just all kinds of crazy things. But it gets the customer's attention, and it looks handwritten. But anyway, One of the cool things is to add notes to your computer records, customer records, to remind you of something. Now, I'll tell you that Cindy with Suburban Chem-Dry here in Atlanta does a great job of in the plays golf, or if they just had a new grandchild, or all kinds of cool stuff. When you bring that up to a customer when they call in and they think, wow, this company really cares about me and just not just trying to clean my carpets. This is the stuff that keeps those customers tied to you. Okay, offering valuable offers for your loyal customers during the winter months. I love this little card. As a matter of fact, I've talked to probably at least 50 franchises that use this card. You see where it's a 3-tier? And I do know that one franchise had the best February ever on record by using this card. Make sure it hits the street, you know, right at the 1st of January or at the end of December. Has anyone used this kind of card before? Unmute yourself. Well, even if they're not unmuted, I know that people have done it. But isn't that cute?
I used it, Robin.
Sorry?
Yeah, I used it one time, Robin. I love that puppy.
What kind of results did you get, Shelley?
It wasn't fabulous, but it was okay. So I love the dog, though. I thought, well, at least he's cute.
Well, I think consistency is probably an important thing. And, you know, you might even want to put this on your email newsletter, which you probably are already going to do.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to talk a little bit about new customer acquisition. And I'm not going to go into great detail because this is Ed's contribution. He is the guru. We are so fortunate to have him at Harris Research. I know any of you that have had contact with him know exactly what I'm saying. We talked about testimonials. Testimonials are awesome. One of the things that really helps people if they're networking the neighborhood, you know, you got the old passe, tired door hangers. But I'll tell you, some people still use them. Do you know how powerful it is to have testimonials on there? Customers want to feel comfortable. In these economic times, if they're going to spend money, they want to make sure they have that security of knowing that they've selected a company that's going to give them value. Because believe it or not, I talked to a franchise yesterday. It was completely convinced that everybody now was a price shopper. All they cared about was price. And as we talked a little bit further, this franchise began to tell me about those customers that called regardless of the economic times. They told me that this particular way of targeting it, offering testimonials, you know, just tying their customers there really helped them. You know, in the future, I think that the key is going to be to target your market and not just cast out a wide net. So when you're doing your marketing planning, put your thinking cap on and think outside the usual. I don't want to say box. For example, instead of sending out a blanket postcard or a, you know, Valpak or what have you, that tries to just, you know, fill everybody's need, one for all, you know, one size fits all. Who are you trying to get? Isolate those things. Find out who your target market. If you want to get working moms, you think about it. If you get a smaller number but you get better quality, you're going to come out better in the long run because they're going to stick with you longer. All right, we talked a little bit about the 4 and the rule of 6. It takes 6 advertising impressions to make a connection. All right, here's another thing that you can be doing, and you probably already do it. Some people do. And this is something I actually did when I was a franchise owner, is that during this time, you know, read up on the industry trends and what's going on. You know, Clean Facts magazine. You know, that's our independent people, but you'd be surprised. You can learn all kinds of things about what that competition's up to. I don't know if you guys have a business chronicle of some description in your area. And Shelley, I know you're probably pretty familiar with the Atlanta Business Chronicle. And you see all kinds of what's going on in Atlanta in the business community. Here's an opportunity to send cards or letters to people that received a promotion or let's say they received an award, or, you know, there's all kinds of things. Somebody's quoted in an article that really, really hit home. Send them a note. Send them a note, or send them a letter. All right, let's talk a little bit about commercial work. I mean, obviously, this is a biggie in the slow times. So let's target right now, who are those customers that are going to be most likely to need their carpets cleaned after the holidays? I mean, I'm sure you guys can probably think of other ones, but obviously are the retail stores. You know, they may not be as busy, but they're still going to be getting filthy. Country clubs. Now, there you go. Some of the high-end ones, let's say they do it themselves. It's going to look hideous. What a great opportunity. Clubhouses, places of worship. You know, that's one thing that we did very well, was isolate those places of worship. Let me give you a hint. Those that use candles in their services, let me tell you, their janitors and their cleaning people can't get candle wax out, trust me. And I got many an account that way by hitting on that. So put your thinking cap on and say, hey, listen, I'm going to make a short list of these people I can start contacting right now to make sure that they're ready for us and that they know who we are so that they can make that good decision when they're ready. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about, you look on there where it says a quick change artist. I love this. Now, even with slow, you should book a full week, not just of jobs, but blocks of time that you can go call on potential accounts. I met a gentleman about a month ago that was on the truck by himself, and he was determined to grow his business. So what he did was, he had dig this, a suit and tie, deodorant, etc., all in his van. So if he was done at the end of the day, he was out wherever, he maximized his fuel. He was just like Superman. He didn't go into a phone booth, mind you, but he did go somewhere, changed into his clothes, and went and called on these people that he had on his list. His business took off. Because as you know, if you go in to see a commercial customer that's of any value to you, the impression that you make as far as your appearance means everything. But I will tell you, this is one instance where you've got to keep doing it. A lot of times it's a numbers game. And sometimes it's hard to hear no and no and no. But one of the best things you can do is, even if you can't get through, is to offer to be their plan B. Managers like to have that backup because you never know when they're going to need somebody in a hurry. And you'll be there, Johnny on the spot, pun intended. All right, something you can do right now is take a look at those commercial accounts that you already have and really get ready. Get ready to start working those accounts, okay? Because this is a great time to cement relationships when it's slow. I would recommend, and this is something that I did, is I gathered up at least a year's worth of sales data. You know, I printed out the information from Camelot, but I actually got my grimy paws on the invoices themselves. It was a little laborious, but it really helped me look and say, okay, this customer had a challenge with toner. This customer had their ice machine maker flooded the place twice. You know, these are the people that I'm going to concentrate on. Those people that have the propensity to use this consistently. Those with the most potential. I even went back and looked at those estimates that were canceled, those jobs that got canceled. You know, dig through and see what the potential is. So get a spreadsheet and start setting up an idea and say, okay, I'm going to set up some regular contact intervals. Because take a look at it. If you don't take good care of those commercial customers, somebody else will. I mean, there's hungry wolves out there doing these same things you are. So you've got to be a little bit more clever, and you've got to jump on it faster. Right, people ask me, they say, oh my gosh, well, I want to get started in commercial, but I don't quite know what to say. So this is kind of a conglomeration of what I've heard other franchises say. And certainly it's not the end-all, be-all of scripts. But it may give you a little idea as to what to say. You know, I really like the fact that you don't say, how are you doing today? Never say, how you doing today? You know, it makes you sound like a salesman. They roll their eyes. They're ready to get you off the phone. Basically, you're going to get right into it. I'm sure you're busy, and I want to respect your time, so I'm going to be brief. The reason for my call is, and then at that point, you want to hit on the benefits. Short, sweet, to the point. You want to get the meeting. So here's a great little script. Take it, make it your own, and remember, when they give you an objection, no matter what it is, that's why I'm calling. We have our janitors that already do the work. If you guys went to the commercial account seminar, well, that's why I'm calling. So if you want to learn more about that and you haven't been exposed to the latest training, go to the marketing toolbox, and you will find a whole section on commercial with all these scripts, all the tools you need, all right at your fingertips. All right, here's some other ideas on recognizing your customers. I was telling you about a little basket that I used to put out. This wasn't my basket, but it's somebody else's basket. But, you know, it's got all the key stuff. You don't have to include all that in there. But, you know, I think making that gesture is something that probably no one else is going to do. They may send a gift basket or, you know, a bottle of champagne or something, but make it something that's yours. Maybe even something personal. I'll tell you one thing. I had only cleaned a couple of times for this huge law firm, and I couldn't crack the code in order to try and get a contract out of them. So I prepared my little basket. This facilities manager's office was absolutely flooded with Georgia gators. I mean, it was wall to wall. I've never seen, they was hanging from the ceiling. Well, I went out and got me a little stuffed gator that fit into the basket, and I put him in there. And I also put a little thing in there, and it was like a little card that you turned over, and I said, "Go Gators, but roll Tide." Also, you take a look-see at the office chair cleaning. It's an annual discount. This is the actual flyer that I used, and I actually plugged in, you know, the number of chairs that they would have to do in order to get a discount, and I made it nice and fat and juicy. And another thing that I did was, if the customer wanted to book their carpets but they weren't quite sure, let's say it was a doctor's office. You know, they're kind of, I don't know. You know what? I tell you what. You know, in your waiting room, you never know what's on that carpet or what's festering in that carpet. You know, I hate to be graphic, but, you know, vomit, all kinds of other things. I want to help it be healthy for you. So please allow me to go ahead and clean those. I think there's 6 chairs in your lobby. I would be more than delighted to clean them for you so that everything's going to be looking great. It's what I call being a go-giver. Okay. Please don't walk up. Okay, now we're going to talk about referral systems. Now, I heard from a lot of you that say that, you know, they pass out the little referral cards, and they just don't seem to get the results that they want. So let's put those referral programs on steroids, shall we? This is a whole full-day seminar, but I'm going to condense it down and give you a little taste, a little flavor. The real key is that you want to set up a system. You don't want to just have something haphazard. You want to set up a company culture of referrals where your whole company is centered around referrals, because as you know, 40% of your customers are going to make their decisions based on referrals. So if the majority of your customers come from referrals, or many of them, then wouldn't it be wise to spend your advertising money growing this portion of your business? If you're getting referrals, you know, that are not proactive, just imagine what would happen if you were able to make it proactive. All right, so we're going to make a commitment here. We're going to talk a little bit about establishing referral alliances. I'm going to give you a step-by-step in just a minute. But we talked about deepening those customer relationships. This is the time when all of those things, the quality control cards, the follow-up calls, all of those things that deliver that spectacular service experience, polish it. Get ready. I love to be a hero. This is where the go-giver really comes in. This makes you stand out. going to give you an example. Customer calls, lives about 40 miles away. Hysterical, oh my gosh, my dog just threw up on the carpet. Well, maybe that's not a good one because we hate vomit, as we mentioned before. But let's say, oh my gosh, I'm having that party on my white carpet. The dog just tracked in the motor. What am I going to do? Here's your choice. Here's your moment of truth. Okay? You can choose to say, well, we have a minimum charge and we can come out next Thursday. Choice A. Choice B, I can drop some spot remover by your house. That's, you know, we got good, better, best. I will be more than happy to get out there and take care of that spot for you. Now, I know this sounds radical, but I'm here to tell you it works. If you're a hero, I'm telling you, those are the kind of things that referrals are made of. All right, be an expert. You know, the more you know about carpet, construction, you know, what types of carpet, a lot of times they'll call and say, you know, I'm going to replace the carpet down in my basement. What kind of carpet should I get? The best thing you can do is to educate yourself on the type of, you know, like say for example, they say, what about Berber? Then you can explain to them Berber is a type of carpet. It's not the fiber. So if you like Berber, you might want to consider getting nylon. So those kind of things, there's so many things that you can come up with in order to be that expert for them. You know, train your army. Reward your techs for referrals. I bet you guys, a lot of you guys do that because that really helps promote the company culture of referrals, doesn't it? So you might want to come up with a spiff. For example, if the technician's out there on the job, customer says, oh my gosh, my mother needs her carpets cleaned. This looks so beautiful. At that point, your technician can say, you know what, I would like to personally make sure that I take care of her carpets. You know, what's her name? Would you mind if I gave her a call so that I personally can handle it? Wow. You know, they can provide that information to the office, get the job booked, you know, route it to that technician, and it grows from there. Always keep your eyes peeled. That's what my dad always said. Keep your eyes peeled. Right. Tap into your sphere of influence. You guys might have heard me tell this story before, but I'm going to tell you a story. I have a company that comes and cuts my grass and, you know, trims my bushes, etc. Landscaping. Well, I have some trees that need to be cut down. I mean, some of these trees are hideous. So I call them up and I say, hey, you know, do you guys cut trees down? Well, no, we don't. I said, well, can you recommend somebody that does? I don't know. I called 3 companies. I'm going to ask my company. I called another company. I couldn't get a tree company to call me back once I finally found one. You know, that's a sad, sorry state of affairs. Which brings me to the most important point that I should have said at the beginning. It's the obvious. Please answer your phone live. Please don't answer it dead. That's the most important thing. Referrals want to know that they're dealing with a company that is professional and answers the phone. Here's some of the things. Janitorial services. Do what they don't. You don't necessarily have to have an alliance with them where they pay you. You can have them, if it's a service they don't provide, like say upholstery cleaning or fabric wall cleaning or, you know, cubicles, they can be the recommendation for you. They can be your in. Let me jump down to interior designers. I talked to a gentleman a month ago at a seminar, and this is a fact. He pays his interior designers 10% of the jobs that they give him. He recently sent a check to his interior designer that he works with most for $42,000. Do the math, that's a big old honking job. This guy was I think he was a prince from like somewhere in the Middle East or what have you. He did everything. So how did he get in with interior designers? That was my question. How did you do this? He said, well, there's an organization called ASID, American Society of Interior Designers. He said, what I did was I joined. He gave me the directory. He said, but I found out that these people, in order to get their certification, they have to go through certain training. They have to learn about carpet construction. They have to learn about maintaining. There's just a bevy of things they need to learn. So they're anxiously waiting for somebody to train them. It's even better when you can bring it to them. That's the key. That's how this gentleman did it. He joined. He found out what he had to do to get certified and say, this is what I do. This is how I do it. These are the organizations I belong to. And they said, okay, you can now offer a class like this. He burned up the phone lines, started calling interior designers right and left. They rolled out the red carpet, and the rest is history. Look at some of these other things. I talked to a fantastic franchise down in Florida that is just cleaning up on homeowners associations. You know, they have high-rise condos and, you know, fancy big-time retirement homes. And they have made it a point to develop relationships with them so that everybody in that building knows who they are, what kind of work they do. I mean, that's obvious, isn't it? Another thing is tile installation companies. If you don't already do tile, I would strongly recommend that you add that, because in these times, being diversified and offering all the services possible for their flooring needs is very important. There's a franchise that actually will go to the tile installation companies and offer to seal the tile, because a lot of times they don't do that. There's an idea. Moving companies. Okay, you know, people are going to move, and when they do, wonder if the mover gets his grimy paws all over a white sofa. You know, see what it's wrapped in fell apart, and their little grimy paws got on there, and it's a big mess. Well, they could try and clean it themselves and leave a big old honking ring. They'll do that about one time, and then they'll think, oh, I don't think so. You know, this is a great opportunity. It's just one of the things to put in the mix. Storage firms, those bad boys will leak, and customers won't like that. Great opportunity for you. All right, here's how to build some of those marketing relationships. Have you ever just driven down the road and you thought, oh, gee, those kind of customers would really relate to my business, kind of the tree service landscaper thing? What if those business owners agreed to introduce you to everybody who walked in their door? I mean, this could be a great source. One of the things is you develop this sort of win-win situation. One of these win-win situations where you actually make up a card that basically gives them a discount because they're a customer of X, Y, and Z. And let's say you had one yourself. You'd win, the customer wins, and your partner wins. You can also think about using the $20 gift cards. I mean, that's going to basically do you a trick right there, available from Reflections Press. All right, networking. Networking can be anywhere. I mean, this could basically, what I'm talking about here on this slide is those official networking, you know, at B&I or Chamber of Commerce and what have you. But take a look at this. You can probably use this no matter where you are. You could be sitting in a doctor's office, and, you know, you strike up a conversation with a gentleman or a lady that's sitting next to you, dressed nice, and we're going to talk about the $64 question, what do you do? And how you can utilize that, get business cards, send a glad to meet you card, follow up, and you never know what can develop. The key here is to be a go-getter. Mary Kay Ash with Mary Kay Cosmetics coined this phrase of be a go-giver. Think about not what you can get from the person, but who can I connect this person with? I used to keep a preferred contractor list kind of by my phone. So if a customer ever says, hey, do you know a window cleaner? You know, I had a great window cleaner. Sometimes the window cleaner got the stuff leaked onto the carpet. You know, it came through the window. We came and cleaned it up for them. In return, I would turn around and look for them. Make a big old honking list of all the home services you can think of and set up alliances. What's an elevator speech? Why do I need one? Elevator speech is just kind of a 15-second blurb as to what you do. And here we go. I mean, how many times have you asked, oh, hey, what do you do? I'm in sales. I sell insurance. I do this, I do that. But does that really tell you anything about what they do? I mean, is that going to encourage you to want to do anything with them? Factual defining statements from the Kiwanis clubs. I love this. Kiwanis is a global organization of volunteers dedicated to changing the world one community, one child at a time. You know, that just sums it all up right there. It makes you want to say, well, how do you do that? Look at all these three there. What will you say if somebody asked you what you do? Will you say, oh, I'm a carpet cleaner? Or will you say something like this? And this is just something that somebody created. Make it your own. Come up with something that shows what your business could benefit them. You want to give them a benefit statement. I like the clean, healthy living and work environment. Well, how do you do that? What a great time to tell your story. The next 12 slides I'm going to go over briefly, but I put them in here so that when you go over this presentation later, it might make some sense. Now, remember we talked about targeting the high-end customer instead of going after the, I don't want to say bottom feeders, but you know what I mean. Mercedes clients, how do you get them? Why do you want them? These people are very persnickety. That was my mother's word, persnickety. I love that word. So you choose between the Kia market or the Mercedes market. And this is something you have to start. It doesn't happen overnight. But this is something you can start cultivating right now, even through the slow period. All right, you got to get inside these people's heads. You got to get inside their heads. There's 12 commandments to selling. And I'm just going to hit on the topic, and you can go back and read, you know, the little fine print. You got to be committed. I mean, you can't just sort of wing it and say, I'm going to treat them like everybody else. This is a high-level, hard-charging set of customers. Okay. You are your service. You've got to do everything. Be as advertised. They want a problem solver. They don't want to fool with anything. They want somebody that knows what they're doing, solve their problems. Be a servant. They want Ritz-Carlton service with a FedEx efficiency. They want you when they want you. You got to be a trusted source of information. You know, you got to know your products inside and out. You got to know things like, can you clean a Flocati rug? You know, first time I got that question was, what the heck is a Flocati rug? So I finally got inside the head of these people. You know, Sisal rug. Can you get out wine spot from Sisal? How do you explain to them why you can't? All of those things have in your back pocket and your knowledge basket. Disclose all costs. These people tend to be nitpicky. Think about the story of Sam Walton. You know, he penny wise and pound foolish, but they still want value. You got to stand by everything. Remember I was telling you about the guy that wrote a check for $42,000? You know how much of that $420,000 job was reservices, redos? They said, I don't like that. Do it again. That doesn't look good. Do it again. I mean, it could be perfect, but they didn't like it, so, you know, they charged them. They didn't care. They just wanted it done. You are the company. Your reputation is everything, both personal and business. Okay, here's another reason to be internet savvy. You need to be able to help your customer to research all those things. No hassles. They want you to be easy to do business with. You know what? There's this gentleman, Dr. John Pierce, professor of strategic, sorry, let me get something to drink here. Got to wet my whistle. Anyway, this dude here says, while a slowing economy can be unsettling, but it doesn't have to spell bad news for small businesses. Economic slowdowns are a time when you can strengthen yourself by wringing out all those unnecessary things, improving your efficiency, streamlining, re-cementing those relationships with your valued customers. He also says that firms that bounce back most quickly are the ones that take action early on. I just want to say thank you guys. You know, I really appreciate your time, but most of all, out there day in and day out building the brand of ChemDry. And our passion here at Harris Research is your success. And there's nothing more gratifying to hear success stories. Please call us when you have those. And if you ever need help from us, we're here for you. Marketing, training, field operations, all of Harris Research, we're there to support you. So call upon us, we're here. So I just wanted to open it up and see if anyone wants to share anything. Ed, are you still there? Oh, man. Can anybody unmute themselves? Tracy, if you're on, I want you to unmute yourself. People. I can't even tell if people left. Well, I appreciate you. Oh, there you go. Who's that?
That's Shelley.
Go, Shelley.
So that was great. Thank you for sharing all that.
You're welcome. Tell me what you feel like is most helpful and what can we do better?
This stuff about the Mercedes clients, I'm really interested in that. You know, they're not going to be the price shoppers, and I'd like to find out more about how to meet these people and how to create these alliances.
I think I can help you with that because I fell upon this 2 times. Oh, actually 3. I actually was out doing a real nasty little toilet overflow cleanup in a high-rise down in Buckhead. You probably know which one it is.
Yep.
And I met a guy in the elevator. Turns out he's like a big whoop-de-doo. I mean, big-time whoop-de-doo. And he looked at me, and I was holding a rag, and I probably stunk, and he said, do you spot clean carpets? I said, yes. He says, I've got a little rug. Do you think you'd come take a look at it? Well, and he said, oh, I got to go. Just talk to my my butler. Okay. There are opportunities all around. My son played baseball with a gentleman. I sat in the stands the first time, and I said, well, what do you do? When he told me, I'm like, okay. He said, well, you know, just give my butler a call and, you know, arrange to get the carpets cleaned. So I did. He turned me on. The butler turned me on to tons of, they talk to each other. So, Shelley, if you want more information about how to do that, how to capitalize on it, you know, let me know. I will tell you that my daughter married into old money. I mean, and all those people do nothing but buy referral. So I picked her brain.
Mm-hmm. How to meet them and where they go. And cool.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, if you've ever read Atlanta Magazine, and they've got these all over the country, they have these little society things, you know, where you see pictures of them going to charity balls and stuff like that.
Right.
One day, I saw one of my customers in there, and I'm like, dude, you know, there's one of my customers. So I cut it out and sent it to her. She was all fired up. She called me back, and I said, do you guys ever have anything where we could donate something to charity? Well, boy, howdy, did that open up the whole ball of wax. We started cleaning into a big old nest of those people. So give me a call, and maybe we can noodle those ideas.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else?
If people don't know how to unmute, it's up at the top bar, the bottom green and blue microphone. You just click on that.
I really want to hear what other people are doing. Please. I must have been babbling too much. I apologize. But this is my passion. Well, I'm going to give you guys my email address. And if you have any questions or, you know, I may not be able to answer them, but I'm a knowledge broker. So I can point you in the right direction. I can refer you. No referral fees necessary. It's Robin S. ROBYN, S as in Smith, Robin S. at ChemDry.com. Please check your training calendar because there are tons of great webinars on things like upselling, commercial accounts, CTS. Oh gosh, and the king daddy of all is Ed's webinars on how to update your website. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I truly want to thank each of you for being on this call. And, you know, if we can ever help you, let me know, and let me hear from you. All right, you guys take care.
Thanks, Robin. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all. Ed? Okay.